Basic steps in painting a car. The following slides will outline the steps in painting a car that just needs a facelift. Damaged vehicles require additional steps that are not covered here. By the end of this presentation, the learner will be able to identify the basic steps in painting a vehicle, apply these basic principles when painting an actual vehicle, understand basic problems encountered when painting a vehicle. Always start with a visual inspection of the vehicle, looking for scratches, dents, and dings. Scratches like these are hard to see, but must be identified before painting the vehicle. When the visual inspection is complete, wash the car thoroughly. Pressure washing trouble spots like under the wheel wells and places that hold dirt will give you a cleaner paint job. After you have thoroughly washed the vehicle, the next step would be to wipe the vehicle with wax and grease remover like the one shown here. After the vehicle has been washed and cleaned with wax and grease remover, lightly sand the vehicle with 320 grit sandpaper. A DA, dual action sander like the one shown here, will make the sanding job easier and more uniform. This step is important for the proper paint adhesion. At this point, you can lightly scuff the sanded area with the red Scotch-Brite pad, or you can wet the vehicle and scuff it with the Scotch-Brite pad while washing. After the sanding and scuffing are complete, the vehicle must be washed thoroughly once again to remove dust and other particles that may have attached during the sanding steps. After the vehicle has dried, it can be moved into the paint booth to continue with the preparation phase of the painting process. All areas that are not to be painted must be masked. Careful masking is needed to ensure that the paint covers all desired areas. The exposed areas to be painted are once again cleaned with wax and grease remover. Don't skip on this step. Paint will not adhere to areas where there is wax and grease. A tack cloth is used following the wax and grease remover to remove any remaining dust or dirt particles that will affect the painting process. These steps are important in the prep process. Finally, you are ready to prepare your paint for the first coat. Read the instructions on the paint can label to determine the proper mixture to ensure adequate paint coverage. Load the paint gun. After donning the appropriate personal protection equipment, apply the paint using a sweeping motion. Maintain a constant distance from the vehicle and a uniform spray pattern. Let the next line of paint overlap the line above it by 50%. This is an example of what happens to the paint when the vehicle is not properly prepped. The paint will bubble up and eventually peel off this area. This is prevented by properly preparing the areas to be painted. Wait about 10 to 15 minutes after applying the first coat of paint before applying the second coat. Using the same spray pattern as with the first coat, apply the second coat of paint, wait 10 to 15 minutes, and then apply the third coat. After the third coat of paint is applied, wait 30 minutes before moving to the next step, then apply the clear coat. Automotive paint is not shiny like you see it on the vehicle. It is the clear coat that adds the shine to the car. The greater the number of coats, the more shine the vehicle will have. Using the proper personal protective apparel, apply the clear coat in the same manner as the paint. Use the sweeping motion, stand at a uniform distance, and use a uniform spray pattern. Wait about 15 to 20 minutes between coats of clear. Usually you will apply 2 to 3 coats of clear. Wait about 15 to 20 minutes after the last coat of clear before moving to the next step. At this point, the vehicle should be nice and shiny. After the 15 to 20 minute wait, bake the car in the paint booth at 160 degrees for 15 to 20 minutes. This promotes adhesion and speeds the drying process. The heat is delivered by a large furnace inside the paint booth. After it has completely dried, carefully remove the masking material from the vehicle. Stand back and admire your work. If the steps are followed carefully and the vehicle is prepped properly, your vehicle will look as good as the restored muscle car. This presentation was designed to acquaint the new learner with the steps needed to paint a vehicle. Take this information into the shop when practicing these steps with directions from your instructor.